Working with audio transitions. Another topic that needs to be noticed is audio transitions. All the effects and transitions can be found in the project panel in the Effects tab. First of all, there are presets that we will edit, create and download. Limiter presets, audio effects, some of which we have already seen when we were considering the audio panel and audio transitions. Also, here you can find video effects and video transitions. Let's consider audio transitions. Here we have only one folder, it's crossfade, and only three effects: constant gain, constant power, and exponential fade. They are applied very simply. The first way is to move the effect to the splice. Constant gain adds a smooth start to the audio track. This effect can also be applied to a situation where we need to glue two pieces of music together. We move the clip in different directions using Alt plus angle brackets. If we used Alt plus left and right arrows, we would have unnecessary space between the files. If we use Alt plus angle brackets, this clip will wound and unwound. Besides that, the transitions between the audio tracks will also be saved. It works with both video and audio. If we want to play the clips using the keyboard shortcut Shift plus K, we need to go back. There is such a function that is set by pre-roll by default 2 seconds. The playhead bounces back from its position and plays forward up to a certain point. We'll fix our splice a little. So, we managed to sew two pieces of music together. To do this, we used a transition. If you double-click on the transition on the timeline, it's available to use it with both video and audio. You can set its duration manually. Let's set, for example, 3 seconds. We can grab it by the edges and move it symmetrically apart, or we can grab it by the middle and move it along the timeline. And as soon as we have a transition selected, the parameters of this transition have been displayed in the Effect Controls panel. Here we can also edit it, move it, change its location. The shortcut for creating audio transition is Ctrl plus Shift plus D. So, we set up and apply the audio transition. How do crossfade effects differ from each other? Here we have three effects. You can guess about their functions by some icons, but there is a simpler explanation. To do this, we need to go to New Item, Bars and Tone, and drag the appeared file on the timeline, and this differs in the total sound that we get at the output. Somewhere the sound adds up. Somewhere the sound when two clips are superimposed becomes larger or smaller, and somewhere it stays on the same level. So they differ in these details. In addition, it's necessary to mention the so-called default transition. In the crossfade folder, one of the transitions is circled with a blue square. It means that the transition is default. It's applied by default. If we press Ctrl plus Shift plus D, then constant power will be applied. In order to change the default transition, we need to right-click for another transition and select Set Selected as default transition. Let's consider three different transitions: gain, power, and exponential. Another useful shortcut that can be used to highlight a piece of editing is the backslash. It's near the lower shift. It puts markers in and out on the piece. We press Ctrl plus M to open the export settings window. Let's say we want to change the file format from PNG to waveform audio and import it back into the project. We need to enable the Import into Project checkbox. Then we select the location where the file will go and click Export. As a result, we get audio tracks of various formats. When we are switching to constant gain, the volume won't change. And this can be used in a situation where we have received a master sound of a program with a balanced sound. We need to cut out a piece, glue it and throw a small transition there, so that the sound doesn't increase in this place, because we have a certain limit value of -18 for the TV channel. If the sound rises in some place and turns out to be more than 18, then the work will be considered a bad work and must be redone. So, you need to put constant gain to prevent it from happening. The sound will stay at the same level. If we use constant power, then we have a sound bump at the transition point. Here it's louder than in the others. On the contrary, the volume decreases at the transition point in exponential fade. Let's see the difference. This is how it turns out vividly and clearly. Finally, we are finishing our discussion of audio transitions. Now we will talk about keyboard settings and move on to video transitions and video effects.